In today's video, we're going to be talking about whether you should pay for Perplexity or not. We'll look at the free plan and the paid plan and see the differences. So this is Perplexity AI. You should be well aware of this one if you're watching this video. So let's have a look at the differences. I got this from Perplexity itself, right? So the cost, right, is free, obviously, and the pro version costs either $20 a month or $200 per year, okay? If you want to buy a yearly subscription, you save a little bit of money there, right? So the next feature that we can talk about here is quick searches. So for both of them, it's unlimited, right? So you get unlimited free searches. So it is pretty cool to actually use, these AI tools for free, just to search something for free and, get all the information back. So, and next up we have the pro searches. So you get 5 per day on the free version and 600 per day on the paid one. So that's just when you click this pro button here and you can get, complex answers, should I say, to complex questions. So that might be suitable for you if you need something more detailed, especially if you're doing research or something like that, then this can be a super helpful feature. So the next thing we're looking at here is the AI model access, and this to me is probably one of the most important pieces of this, because if you're creating content or something, you want to be using the best model. So with the free version, you get the standard model only, and honestly they're a bit vague about what that is, right? We don't really know. They might be using one model sometimes, another model. They're also developing their own models too, Perplexity, so we don't know exactly about that. But the pro version, you get to choose. So let's just look at the different versions and models that are available, right? So first of all, we have Claude 3.5 Opus, right, it's called. Well, actually they changed the name recently to Haiku. So this you can use for advanced analysis and detailed results. It's kind of more for larger data things than the normal one, which is Claude 3.5 Sonnet. This is the one that I use the most, to be honest, because it's really good at writing and that type of thing. If you want to write a blog post, which is something that I do a lot with these LLM models, is to write for me social media content and blog content, and this one has been the best so far in all of my testing, right? So you can also choose between GPT-4. Oh, okay, as far as I'm aware with ChatGPT, that's free for limited use, and I have the paid plan with ChatGPT, and yeah, I also use this one a lot for just general questions and generating little bits of content, right? And you also have access to these Sonar, right? I think these are the ones by Perplexity, so you can have a look at some of this. And then the default one is for the fast searches and basic searches, not really for generative AI, the creating content. Again, I think this is better. So I would use Claude by itself, but problem with Claude by itself is that it's not connected to the internet, which of course Perplexity is. So Perplexity is great for that. If you want to create content, then this can be well worth paying for just for that feature alone, the Claude Sonnet option and connecting to the internet. So the next thing we have here is file analysis, right? So actually we do have some limited availability with the free plan and available on the pro plan. So if you want to upload documents and stuff like that and analyze them. Next up is Perplexity Spaces, okay? Basic functionality and full functionality. So let's have a look at the difference, right? So with the free plan, you can only add like 5 files, and with the pro plan, you can add as many as you want, and you can add team members. So a little bit about Perplexity Spaces, right? It's kind of like custom GPTs, if you're familiar with that. If you have some sort of workflow, right, where you have step 1, do this, step 2, then this can be really good. I'll show you an example of mine here. So for example, I like to sometimes create YouTube thumbnails with AI. So it's kind of like a process, right? So step 1 is try to get the ideation of the thumbnail, right? So it's like, what do I want? I want 2 elements with something like that. And then I want, an image prompt. So I just give my full instructions here, and you can edit this if you want, right? And then all I need to do is put in my idea, right, when I want to start a new thread. So the files option is super handy if you do have some, document training data or whatever the case may be. It'll obviously depend on what you're trying to do here. And this whole area, I think, is going to develop more and more as people get used to this. But at the moment, it's kind of like we do a little bit of use AI for one little task, and then we do it ourselves, and then we use it again. But this is kind of better for doing things, step by step, or a long workflow. So a good example of this workflow is a blog post, right? You have to do like the keyword research. You need to do, the writing the first paragraph or outlining the article first, and then writing each thing is like step by step. You need to have internal links, all of that stuff. For that, I'm using a tool called Journalist AI, and this tool gives you just a whole blog post in one click, right? So you just need to add in some information. You can do similar things to Perplexity, right? And you get the whole article like this. You can also have, edit things as well. So, it's important to do all this stuff with blog posts, right? Because the best blog post wins at the end of the day. If you're trying to get rankings on Google, then you want to be number 1 or number 2. So, you need little things like this, bold, so that people look at this and read your articles well, and there's links out. It's like that proves authority. So all these are like little steps that the blogging process needs, and with this tool you can do it all in one go. So it also includes images and videos that you don't need to go search for, and let's say you don't like this one, for example, then you can just change it, right? You just need to change the image and say whatever you want to do, and it will change it and generate it for you. So this is what I'm talking about, the Perplexity Spaces, right? You can try to do something like this, but probably you won't be able to do all of these features in this tool, but you might get some part of the way there. So I'll leave a discount code down below. You can use the code CONOR10, CONOR10, and that will give you a discount for this tool. And the last difference is image generation, right? So it's not available with the free version and available with the pro version. So the models that are available are this Playground 1, DALL-E 3, and Stable Diffusion XL. So these are not, to be honest, the best models available now. The best one, in my opinion, is Flux. So I can leave a link down to the tool that I use for Flux down below as well. But yeah, this is another option that you have. Another thing you can do with the Pro plan is the pages, right? So you can create pages like this. Unfortunately, I think, I would really like to be able to publish, and then it would come up on this Discover tab so people could read it. But that hasn't been my experience so far. And, I'm a publisher, so for me, it's really important to publish and people to see my work. But it seems like they just put this ELYMC, and they're just publishing all of the articles that get to the top. To me, I don't know why that is, who they are, but all of their articles are coming at the top. So, what's the point of publishing these pages if nobody's going to see them? So if you're still confused about whether you should upgrade or not, it just all depends on your budget and how often you're using it. That's the way I'm thinking about it, is like if I use it like 10, 20, 30 times per day, then, I probably should be upgrading at that point. And, if I can just try to learn these spaces and the different things that we went through in this video. It's like, do I need this? For me, for example, with Perplexity, having access to Claude 3.5 Sonnet and access to the internet together, that's a super valuable feature for me. So I would be like, okay, that's worth upgrading just for that alone. But it might be different in your case. That's it for this video. If you want to watch the next video, it will be just above my head here about Perplexity AI versus ChatGPT. Thanks for watching.